so. You're using bodies for intel a lot of the time, and so you're putting a lot of responsibility on Pyro and Kumi for this map to not only frag out, but also be able to return to their team more often than not to have these full-blown pushes.
Okay, well, here we go. FunHavers looking to play with a little bit of aggression of this trap play. Doesn't really fully work out, though. Corrupt catches one before being traded, and Kumi, initially the one trying to find the first blood, is out of there. Great gravity vortex, but Kumi cannot stand tall to fight with it. So it's down to Pyro. First Sheriff shot connects onto a couple of weak bodies. Tim, outside the Nebula, caught a little bit off guard, and it has been, well, a bit of a shooting range. And how about it? Pyro snaps for another couple and turns it into a 1v1 between our vices.
With Moobs still having to do a decent bit of clearing, the guarantee that Blast is not nearby. As he makes his way up main, it'll all come down to timing.
Not ready yet.
This plant will be heard.
Not ready yet.
The Blast will have the telegraph. Arc Rose will be available, though, to guarantee at least one sight line, but he's not checking blasts. It all works out for FunHavers in the end after the wraparound.
Honestly, again, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of that, even when we get into full gun rounds, just because of the fact that you're playing with double duelists for FunHavers. So you, again, kind of like the same thing we were talking about for Winthrop on the Icebox. Like, there's not a lot of consequence for the Neon to try to make that play happen off of things like a relay bolt or just a pop flash coming out from the Yoru. But I think the curious point about the setup is that Winthrop are just as eager, I think, to spend early utility to win over towards A main. So I imagine that's going to be a hot spot for this map as we continue on. Lots of damage dealt, obviously, by Winthrop in the round, but not able to secure the plant means it'll just be a couple of Sheriff upgrades here.
Just searching for whatever they can muster up here. Stack from Art be their best bet at it. In the meantime, FunHavers will flex a little bit, grab a free orb, unless Kumi gets all 3 kills away too quickly. Hey, slow down, buddy. Come on, it's round 2.
I mean, hey, if we're going to stack and rush at him, yeah, it's pretty easy pickings for the Guardian. Okay, so the bonus will be pretty potent. Outlaw still in play, Guardian, Ares, and then one of each SMGs. Whereas for Winthrop, you will be getting pretty much a full purchase. Light armor just for moves and a Guardian for Infiltrator, but we've seen what he can do with that weapon. That scooter is way too big for that bear. How does one bear pedal a scooter like that?
How is that bear able to operate that scooter? FunHavers will flex again, grabbing that orb on A. No Teo, instead you have infinite smokes. And a free excuse to plant Kumi. Force an extra check, and oh my god, they're using everything on this guy.
Yeah, I love this from FunHavers, and this is going to be an issue for Winthrop if this continues to be this much efficiency from Kumi, because yeah, you can just delete all that utility and then get out, and Winthrop have to spend so much to even get this position. Oh, that's awkward. You got to miss an LMG if you're corrupt, just bullet hosing. Doesn't work out fully, but it's an even exchange of lives as the A site will be taken by Winthrop.
A little cheeky here, but Pyro will keep that going as he'll step out with this Outlaw in hand. Tough angle to find with the Nebula, but Nazi is stuck here for a reason, and that'll be an easy one.
So do you really want that area? Salvo's out for Winthrop on this 2v3 post-plant hold. At least attempt to hold. Blast tagged up, but still holding. Pyro deals with the first. Yeah, just a staggered setup there. Not going to be broken by Winthrop. So, again, it's just fireworks at the front doors at A again. And Winthrop, not able to fully survive through the post plant, has FunHavers winning the bonus. And with a couple of weapon upgrades, they're going to be feeling really saucy in this first half now.
I mean, the amount of legwork done by Kumi in those opening 20 seconds, getting rid of so much of what Winthrop have to be able to sustain normally in fights like that. You know, you don't have to leave Nazi out on an island like that if you're not throwing both of your prowlers and the salvos and a flash at this one Neon. So if he's able to remain as invasive as and annoying as he is, just continuously faking out those double backs, then we've got quite the defense half on our hands here.
Yeah. Nice little look at the shock dart from Corrupt, which does a bit of damage on Nasi. Sheriff upgrades is all that's going to be worked with here for Winthrop. That's a judge right to center massive moves. And so far, this defense for Funhavers, again, I think just the efficiency, the value that they're getting out of, you know, Kumi's first 3 rounds, just holding over at A long, deleting the offensive utility and coming away with kills is just something that Winthrop is just not ready to exchange with anymore. And with this comp, it's just going to be really difficult to get all the way down to B. You're going to spend a lot of stars to do it. And that's just, again, like the value exchange just doesn't feel all that worthwhile. So Winthrop is in a little bit of trouble here early. Whoa.
Oh, they had to get rid of the shear here, so it's going to be another extra second here. Excuse to, I guess, get some smokes going. This is really tight. But Winthrop will corner out the art swing and make this spike plant work with a little bit of util to throw. But Funhavers, they're already going to go for the pinch here from the connector.
They have to out-trade this, do Winthrop. Pressure being shown from both sides. There's the shoulder check from Kumi. Wow, just rushing right on forward. Pyro Blast also following up. And yeah, that'll be it. Flare stuck way back at main. Not really a hope or a chance, you would think, for him to stop a defuse. Does catch one elimination there, but yeah. Easy hold for Funhavers. After our little drive-by over the top of the A site, it's a 4-0 start for Funhavers.
Again, with a round like that, you got to use everything earlier on. No need for the neon to be in your face.
Rip and tear.
We'll have a full-blown kit for Winthrop's attack here, and they'll start building up the ult cycle so they can leaf through the playbook a little more consistently instead of just having to play for those picks after losing advantage. So Funhavers, in response, will try and egg on a little bit more. These double duelists are going to continue trying to burn away at the kits that Winthrop has to offer. It's a heavy workload for those duelists, but clearly they're willing to take it on one at a time, as it seems. Kumi, the one stepping up and quite far as well. He's maintaining this.
This is a pretty important round here for Winthrop just to get something that looks remotely winnable.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, like, a dimensional drift is all you really need to try to re-clear this out, especially considering that they actually do have the ability to contest this entry towards A initially, too.
Face your fear!
Nightfall is out. Kumi, relay bolt. It's going to hold their ground. I love it. Oh, and catches Nasi with some util out. Infiltrator for the trade. Trying to move quickly. Tim holds him back. Armageddon, it really just has to be sidestepped. And again, Winthrop spend a lot to get essentially nothing. And Pyro's still holding. Blast making safe to pinch in the rotation. And I think an arm gets hit right there by Infiltrator. Yeah, down to 19 HP. So even though it's a 3v2, Funhavers should be feeling comfortable. Flare able to shut down onto Pyro, but now would have to do the near impossible. Stuck on site with a 1v2. That's a 5-0 start for Funhavers. Surely a Winthrop timeout is coming soon.
Who picked this map again?
Yeah, Winthrop did.
Like genuinely, there is so much that just seems empty. When it comes to these pushes, you're either using everything too early or you're not using enough at the right time. Just no exacting upon these ultimates, no parsing out individual players. I don't know if you're too scared of the mid presence from the duelists or you just want to conserve for the post plan. It just seems like there's such a high level of indecision from Winthrop that's already been conditioned from this inconsistency on the peak. So now you just have to find your own level of aggression. That's a way to do it. Okay, Infiltrator.
The thing about this is, though, the Kumi's still around. Oh, what a right click on an Infiltrator. Tim still keeps us even in a 3v3. Blast just up on Nebula. Hey, how are you? Sidesteps one. Not able to snap onto Flare, though. 2v2. Operator out. Stray shot through the Nebula, not going to land. And it will be just an elongation of this 2v2. 60 seconds on the clock. Spike is still nowhere near this play, though. So Winthrop, the ones that would have to likely back off and try to reset this.
Ollie's just joining up with Flare. These salvos will return. We'll be able to try to flush out part of the map here. That stealth drone will be heard by Tim. So he'll go for the circle back, catch Ali, but Ali wins the fight. That was the guarantee Winthrop was looking for, waiting for Funhavers to come to them, and they did. 20 seconds on the clock, an unstable attacking round. But they'll have enough time to get onto the site. Pyro has guessed right, though, with this operator in hand.
All it takes is one shot. Oh, he may be able to get a little bit further forward with the shorty. Chunks out some damage. Now's the hard part. There are no weapons on the ground around this site. You're going to have to do this the hard way. And this first check is the scariest, especially with a little crouch high-low setup here. Yeah, and the corner being watched. Winthrop will take the win. That's how they win their first round? And a thrifty? This series has got it all, I swear to you.
Got to give it up to Infiltrator for that one, for sure. That double kill on the Blade Storm. Expert turns for both of them. Kumi really tried to put a wrench in it, but luckily held on to that corner, and Plaza was able to get maintained. Again, the fight came to them in the 2v2 as well. Tim thought he had the wraparound after he expected them to kind of lead into the drone. Again, hairpin plays here for Winthrop University that's getting them by.
Yeah.
And so they'll have to try and just lurch their way forward again here against so many ultimates and a Pyro who just does not want to stop peeking with this operator.
I mean, hey, could be just heat checks at this point. He's connecting for the vast majority of his opening 1v1s, if you want to even call them that. So that takes moves out of the action. No Steel Garden in play. Cosmic Divide at the ready, but that's it here for Winthrop. And again, just based on how this exchange has gone towards A main, Winthrop have given up on it almost completely. So Stealth Drone will clear. Fade will utilize the Prowler to clear out Art, and we're going to get at least some sort of a split setup here, but Pyro tested and deals with Ali, and now everyone can just rotate back and deal with A.
Winthrop searching for ghosts out here, man. Any old thing in the wide open when you have these players that have complete control over it. An easy flash or sightline to net the insta-kill. And that's the gap that it takes against this Funhaver defense. That's what you need to clam up in order to win it. Flair
This
step
works.
forward for
This
E2.
works.
Fires through the clone. Two more in your way, and you're caught out with Blast holding this spike. Salvo's not in hand, so he's got to walk it forward, and Blast is just going to be able to hold this.
Wow.
Netting Funhavers that 6th round. As always, there's a player in the lobby that's willing to keep it interesting, but no further than that. It's 6-1 Funhavers.
Gun here. Go, go, go.
Unreal stuff. But a 10-5 start for Pyro,
Go, go, go.
outdone by the 9-1 that we're seeing from the Vice. That it's just, honestly, you've just been hanging and kind of following up on these rotations that have come through and just been in the right place at the right time if you're Blast. Like, really haven't found many vines that have really, like, obstructed the Winthrop hits. It's just been good rotation timings and decision-making for Funhavers.
Well, there's a vine to get in the way of Infiltrator to try to slow this down on top of the shear, but Winthrop is just going to gun it down. At this point, they understand that searching and waiting is not going to get him anything. They've got to go for the fights, and they've got to be better at him. Corrupt from a distance with this Hunter's Fury, able to dryly fire into the B side as Winthrop spread their wings, but it'll be a 3v5 on the retake.
Blast, good contact there again. Kumi shutting down the play through pillar. Ollie's got no idea. Headshot lands, doesn't fully get the kill, but shouldn't make much of a difference. Yeah, that's just Neon doing Neon things. I mean, Winthrop haven't put up much of a fight here in this first half, legitimately. And we got to talk about it at this point if you're Winthrop. Like, this has just gotten way too far to reach. And again, like, I just want to keep going back to the simple fact the first 4 rounds, Funhavers showed that they're just going to shut down any offensive utility in A main, and Winthrop have given up on that play completely. And I just don't think you can.
Absolutely not. So much of this utility is just getting wasted on the execs. And honestly, before it's even dropped, there have been no good capacities for Winthrop, especially Nasi, to be able to actually do anything with these kits. These Fun Havers are either too willing to fight it, too willing to just show their hand early on and win out anyway because you have the better stack, or play the late game and just go for the full-blown retake. Kumi gonna do the former, get caught by the stealth drone, has to duke it out, has some help though with Tim, and so the fight, it's all on Winthrop whether or not they want to take it. And Armageddon, and they commit, and they win. Flare, great response that nets them the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, initially that stealth drone looked like it was going to shut down the play completely, but like you said, Kumi gets just enough help. The Armageddon there is a bailout, and it works out beautifully. But now it's just on the blasted Pyro. Steel Garden going to be called here. Not really going to stop Winthrop too much, or pardon me, stop this rotation from Fun Havers since no one was on site.
Spike planted.
Op needs to connect. Do you even get a chance at it though? Blast on the other side. Free. Absolutely free. Up close and personal, but no scope doesn't land. Flare able to get the response and moves with the shutdown. Has Winthrop on their second.
I'll isolate the problem.
Unable to make up for the lost ground, but it is as close as can be. Pyro having to go close range with that operator. But really sticking to that play, Winthrop University out-committing Fun Havers there and forcing Kumi to run back into that bloodbath. Just a perfect response on the proactivity that Fun Havers have been flexing on occasion here. Shows that they are very much still awake in this game, even if they haven't really been able to show it as much in the kill feed. Full-blown B-stack here, except for moves after the TP back from Pyro. They should be pretty keyed into this, though, after all that intel.
And this is the thing, like, again, it just goes back to the same point that Winthrop have not been able to find any success towards A. So now you're forcing something towards B with a comp that does not give you much of an opportunity. But Infiltrator has pulled out a bit of a linchpin with an operator of his own, shuts down the hot hand of Pyro. Flare on for the plant behind the Cosmic Divide. Defense will have one of their own to play with if they so choose. They try to go for some sort of a pop flash with Kumi, but it doesn't work out. Cosmic Divide now separating the site, blocking off the B pillar site. You can see there's not much of a window here. But as the attacks Cosmic Divide fades, now here comes the next action. Nice one tap from Ollie. No doubts there, but Corrupt picks up the op, finds one, but you would never expect this. Moves off of a pinch, will find the follow-up, and now Winthrop have the three.
Amazing snake from moves to guarantee not just that round, but a whole lot of guns kept after it. And man, it is truly in Winthrop University's nature to come back. They've done it since playoffs in stage 1. The uncanny ability to just not be able to meet the matchup until the twilight hour.
Concealment.
And with the help of the Cosmic Divides, with the help of that open space given to Infiltrator to get that opening up shot, Winthrop have the clearing to go foot to the floor. But Fun Havers, they'll roll through this exact same charade.
Yeah.
TP out of the op for the intel early on B. So Winthrop, they have to switch up their playbook now. What do they contribute to this B push this time?
Yeah, and I think this is Pyro just sitting there like, you're not going to beat me twice. Like, this is a confidence piece from him. The Infiltrator looking towards the right side of halls. Ali with the slow walk down. And Fun Havers are not showing anything.
Nothing.
Herb tag. And they're going to wait, I think, for Kumi to get first contact here. He's playing a counter flash position.
Face your fear.
Nightfall out. First pick misses. Pyro able to get crash back. Infiltrator in. On to at least allow some space to work with here. Infiltrator Flare find the first two. The Pyro connects off the response, and Kumi's got a double. So now again, Fun Havers have stopped the spike from getting onto site, and Winthrop out of options. They're stuck here.
Kumi so low after all of that is said and done, but not checked until the turn back. But Pyro, still sitting on this operator, turns into a 2v1. Artificial flash, Nazi just has to gun it, peeks into again! Pyro on this operator.
He's nuts.
Unending force after Infiltrator earns Winthrop a mile on that push. They have the sightlines, they have the cross. Funhavers have one little pillar to stand behind, and Kumi and Pyro just deny. And Winthrop locked out somehow. 2 members. They don't get the memo. They're not past that smoke. And you got to recycle the fight. From that state, it's in tatters. 9-3 on the horizon. Pyro, unending presence now in Plaza on this op.
Get out of my
14 and 7 so far this half.
Crushing it. And it's about time that Winthrop showed us some sort of a force up through A main. Knives a part of it. Corrupt not looking up. Immediately dealt with. And now Infiltrator is just dancing with smokes. Right click misses though. Tim punishes. Still holding on to dugout. Pyro in the dimensional drift, finding so much information, and Funhavers stuff the play at the front door. Unreal stuff, man. That's another one of those rounds that you're gonna look back on and Winthrop's gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with our A execute?
Just a total tush push onto site from Funhavers.
Yeah.
Not really any thoughts behind it. I was gonna say, after again, Infiltrator goes for that beautiful execute, distracts 2 more players. I'm like, it's like getting your first shot at the doctor. Wasn't that A exec so easy? And then Funhavers said, yep, that A exec sure is easy. Watch this. And they barrel right on back. 4 rounds out from taking us to map 3 here. Such an impressive display from these Funhavers players. Discipline throughout. And yet the ability to frag. Blast is on 4+ KD. After that defensive performance, getting to recline. We'll see how active he gets on the lurk this time around. He's already getting jumpy.
Oh, the frenzy out for Kumi has me excited. Moob's playing deep at B link. That will work. Kumi's already taken a lot of damage. Deltrone to reflank over through mid. That gets denied. The shear wall does get proc. But Funhavers have 3 players here. Infiltrator does some damage, finding the first player, following up for another. And then Moobs may just secure this himself. Blast. A moment of consideration over towards Art, but not much there. And it'll be Tim for the 1v3.
Very weak pistol round from Funhavers here. Just trying to babysit Kumi's frenzy forward, but there's nothing really behind it. And anytime Winthrop pokes around at the swarm, they get out pretty unscathed because Funhavers has no response. No other positional advantage. All the eggs were put into one basket. Tim now just walking into his demise, delivering the spike right back on over. And so not much to be gained really from that round if you're Winthrop University. Funhavers, not too much to offer there. Went for kind of a one fight and then just kind of collapsed from there. I mean, you found out everybody at that point if you're Winthrop. You kind of have it locked. You've got a solid defensive round in your pocket, a lot of guns, 3 heavy shields, very dominant start to this. Exactly where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, Funhavers will see if Kumi can produce something with the Sheriff. Sables will back him off of A. I think the biggest key here for Winthrop's comeback opportunity would be to make sure that Kumi just doesn't find a free entry. And there's a lot of tools to kind of get Kumi forward. I think especially around these angles at A as we move forward. You know, Pyro's ability to kind of hit them with some pop flashes, the relay bolts to clear off some of the tight angles. But really outside of that, it really is Kumi trying to produce it themselves. So we'll see. Kumi does get 2 here. It's a 3v2 situation. Blair's still watching the cross, and I guess we'll see how things happen.
1 enemy remaining.
Live munition.
Spake it into existence for a second. That 2-piece to open.
Remember,
but yeah,
it's
gotta the root of this has to be Kumi. Has to be that long arm of the law. Find the extension proper to make Winthrop University panic. And the speed with which this A exec is going to happen eventually for Funhavers once they have proper guns and a little more util to kind of blockade themselves from spamming like that will be blindingly fast. They have so much to offer in the pre-plant to let Kumi go wild. That's the whole point of this, is letting him get inserted and go crazy enough to let Funhavers have a pretty easy rest of the round. Again, now that they have guns, they're able to do that. Pyro has got to be that first punch in, though, to let Kumi go crazy, go stupid. And you got to get through this shear first in order to do that.
That's a nice little opener from Pyro. Blast stopping the rotation. And wow, I'm actually surprised that Funhavers aren't just committing to getting onto B here. You're going to have a 3v1 essentially, but they're going to wrap back and see if they can maybe take care of Ollie. I think they know that he was playing over towards A, so. We'll see. Could be a 3v1 on either site, though.
It looks like they've got a decent read on this. Infiltrator's ready to run back whenever they hear noise. 2 stars going to be available for
left.
Ali. Try to slow this down. Oh, but he's immediately found out in dugout. Funhavers can go hunt him down if they want to.
Obscuring vision.
They
Spike
don't know
planted.
where Infiltrator is, though, so they won't.
Recovering it.
Three
Well, it's
fights
a
to win for
patient-
Winthrop.
Yes, it's a patient approach right here for Winthrop. They do toggle the spike. Ollie trying to step forward, trying to punish the peak, but misses his window. And now the responsibility will go over to Blast more often than not. Yeah, Tim's just going to play with his food a little bit here, and this is just taking too long. There's Blast. Good. Checking to make sure no one's on, and Ollie will run out of time on this. Funhaver's going to get the double digits very quickly. This has been a really solid map from them.
Incredibly impressive.
No empathy.
We've really seen everybody understand their role in a comp like this.
Don't answer.
So unorthodox, but very powerful when these duelists understand how far they can extend. And that round in particular, I think, definitely had the right sorts of ideas here. Kumi getting caught by moves, but Pyro is the one that does get that extension, takes 2 back, gives Funhavers the advantage in the fight. They reset onto the site, force Winthrop to split the diff, make it even easier for themselves. All guarantees, that's what Funhavers are looking for here. They want nothing less. They don't want these hero moments. They don't want these shenanigans to come out the other way.
Right there.
Oh,
Nasty.
I mean, you're hoping the stealth drone pops, and then you can out pre-fire through the smoke, but Funhaver just beat you to the punch. And Winthrop are, again, just feeling really stuck right now. I mean, you got a shear wall to try to block off some of this this hit, so you can at least gamble stack a little bit more, but you lose another 1v1, kind of away from the site a little bit, forcing Infiltrator to hold by himself, and yeah, there's just nowhere to go there with the Dimensional Drift just staring at you. Nazi moves, keep things interesting for a moment, though. But it might not be enough. It'll have to be a 1v3 for moves. And coming after this round, it's going to be a staggered buy situation for Winthrop, so they're in some big trouble.
Again, Funhavers find those rocks in the snowball to make it all the harder to deal with. And keeping such a steady eco the whole way through. I mean, maintaining the crowd as well. They're really playing for this long game every single round. And they'll continue to vie for that frugality, even in the pre-plant. I mean, we're really not seeing too much get dumped from them before they get onto the site, are we? Like, they're trying to play primarily for these fights, and they'll launch maybe a dart or like an arc rose. But really, again, these two duelists, a lot of their talent is the driving force of these premature pushes that are getting them so much distance.
Built to the same story we were talking about with Winthrop from Icebox. So it would lead to a very interesting narrative around Sunset if we do continue on this path towards map 3 and moves. Wow. It's just another one of those moments where it's just everything seems to be going the way of Funhaver. Moves is down to a single point of health, essentially. We'll try to sneak in towards screens for something, but this is going to be a very tough site to hold with just Sheriffs and a one Vandal from Nasi on the cross.
Just waiting for something, anything to proc. Easy giveaway that will net Funhavers another easier round. Nothing given away early on, but moves will be forced to step out and just take the brunt of that. It's not about it being easier, it's about it being as easy as possible.
Yep.
And so they will just make sure that everything is wrapped up in a neat little bow before this spike goes down. Still so clean, so respectful from Funhavers. They know there's still a lot more game to be played, but not much more of it to be played here if all continues to go well for them. This has been a beautiful performance from this budding composition on this map. Certainly unexpected from Winthrop, unexpected by many, I'm sure.
Well, here's map point for Funhavers. It'll be Winthrop on full purchase, Infiltrator with an operator, trying to get the defense something to work with here. But outside of the pistol and the follow-up, these have been very clean rounds for Funhavers. And again, it's kind of hard to break down because legitimately there's a level of like Pyro was just snapping with the operator to start things off. Kumi's found some good kind of distraction-based play to allow the rest of the team to kind of funnel through behind that. And Winthrop just have not really had a chance to feel out where the offense is too much. Like, I really haven't felt like we've seen many prowlers to scout out and get into the defense forward. You know, it just, they haven't really had a chance to. I mean, especially considering what the tally was after the first half. You lose the pistol and the follow-up and you're just kind of, you're kind of stuck.
No springboard for Winthrop. Infiltrator finally having the room to be able to pick up an operator in the first of many game points. Still though, not much be able to hold on to this defense with once the duelists can breach. Pyro gonna try and play for the double up GP back, but Infiltrator silences him too. It may have to be one more round.
The thing about this is Funhavers have still some room to work with here. Nope, not anymore. Yeah, blast dropping, Funhavers committing onto the site. Play for some repurchases.
30 seconds left.
And these are some really valuable kills. Infiltrator has been able to earn knives off of this. And you've got Steel Garden, Cosmic Divide, one away from Armageddon. Things are trending, but of course, with 6 more game points still available for Funhavers, they're going to have a round in the near future that they can just set up however they want with their own ults too.
The opportunities will grow quickly if Funhavers do not get these shutdowns that they have been able to in those previous rounds. Love them calling the timeout already here. Again, extremely respectful of how good Winthrop University still are here and how much they have to deal with all of the problems that Funhavers have proposed on this attacking half. I'm just very impressed by this team's ability to swap from the defense and maintain that fluidity from site to site. Just everybody's still fragging, everybody's still trading util incredibly efficiently. Nobody taking on too much at once, and yet everybody available to go for a wrap or a peek or a choke or a swing or a trade. Very chameleonic players that this team's got. They can really do whatever you ask of them.
Chameleonic is a strong word. Is that an actual word?
I think, yeah. I think because I said it once and then somebody else asked me the same thing and then I had to look it up and they were like, yeah, that's a word.
I like that. It's a good word. Strong word. SAT word right there.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome anytime. To me? Oh, that hurts if you're Winthrop.
Yeah.
And that's just another one of those rounds that you see this little back and forth, you know, of what they're trying to do in terms of utility battling over towards A. And this time there's no show of force from Funhavers. You bait out the peak, you find the win, and then you followed up with a really good Hunter's Fury onto Flare. So here we go. 5v3. Steel Garden going to come through. Overdrive as though is out for Kumi. And with Ali dropping, this would have to be something from the front, and there's just no room to work with. Moves by himself. Nice couple of taps here. But for what would have to be a 1v5 and a retake. And yeah. Doesn't feel very good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on.
Surely no time.
Surely, especially with the post plant getting a little bit more dynamic here. But Moobs may have a chance at this. Gravity Vortex will give a little bit of time for Fun Hours for that. The Peak and Tim will throw away any such cinematic antics. 13-6. And we're going to see 3 maps again here. It's been a stage full of them.
That really,